What's going on, Nerd Army guys? It is time once again for another Flash review. Now, guys, this Flash review is going to be a really cool one because the newest episode of The Flash is the Reverse Flash Returns. Great episode. Probably one of my favorite to date because so many amazing things happen, guys. But this is what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change up the style of how I do my reviews a little bit and just give you my favorite points of the episode. Instead of reviewing the entire episode, just give you my favorite points. So it'll probably be like top 10 points or top 5 points, just depending on the episode. But this one right here, I'm going to give you like a top like 8. Let's get into it, guys. So Harry helps Cisco learn how to trigger his vibes. He figures out that it's adrenaline that triggers his vibes. That was really awesome. Then from there, Harry actually goes and creates goggles. Like, Cisco already had some goggles, and he's all, what are you doing to my goggles? And he's like, I'm making it so you'll be able to use them to vibe and control your vibes. Which was really awesome because when he put them on and he activated them, he could actually control how long he's going to vibe out, which is awesome because he's like in there and he just sees all kinds of different flashes from the past. He goes to focus on the Reverse Flash, sees him, boom, and then sees him out there on the street, and then he walks towards him and he sees him with Christina from Mercury Labs and sees him kill her. Then it's pointed out when they're like, he's all, what time was it there? And he's like, oh, it was 9:52. And he's all, well, it means it hasn't happened yet. And Cisco's like, what? You mean I can see the future? Guys, we all kind of knew that, but Cisco, like, self-discovering that he could see the future with his vibes is so fucking funny. And I just, like, about died. I was so stoked. It was a great turn and a great stride for the character of Cisco Ramon on The Flash. I've always loved Cisco, but I always wanted him to get more and progress to become Vibes. So now we're actually getting to see it. Now I want to see him more and more use those goggles and vibe out on purpose and focus and find shit out instead of just like every once in a while accidentally doing it. No, you've got the potential, you've got the ability, you've got the tools you need. Do it. Vibe all the time and let's figure this shit out. You can help Barry catching all these motherfuckers and catching Zoom that much faster. So Harry also in this episode, another thing I really liked is Harry, he actually explains how Eobard Thawne had survived by what he had done, and he had jumped into the Speed Force, used the Speed Force to protect him. Basically, he still died and was destroyed from existence, but Eobard Thawne from other timelines is still out there. So the one that actually shows up in this episode is not the Eobard Thawne that he had fought before. He does not know who Barry is. He does not. He just realized that he just found the timeline that that the Flash lives in. Not even Barry Allen, that the Flash lives in. And he's like, one day I will find your name, and I'll find out who you are, and I will hunt you down. And so basically this is the time where he's gathering all the information, finding out who to take over when he comes into town and become Harrison Wells. That kind of thing. He gets to know Harrison Wells. He gets to know the rest of the team at Star Labs. He remembers that name, Star Labs, and that's why he places himself as Harrison Wells when he comes back and kills Barry's mother. So this was like his origin story, as Harry puts it at the end of the episode. He puts this as his origin story. And so it was really cool to see him progress as a character, even though he's a little D-bag. As him progressing as a character was really awesome. Basically, what happens is Barry goes and he fucking finally catches him. He catches his ass, puts him away, and then he gets down there and he's talking to him and he's like, you know what I wanted? I never wanted to be your enemy. I wanted to be you. And then I realized this time travel thing really just threw everything for a loop, and I realized what I should be doing. And I was destined to be your greatest enemy, which was so dope when he said that. I was like, oh my God, this is freaking amazing. I was having so much fun in this episode. It was just great. So basically, after they catch him and they put him in the cell, Cisco actually physically starts to fade away after he's having crazy seizures, all like gnarly. There's too many electrical impulses going off in his brain. He's just fucking constantly seizing and just freaking out and losing his shit. And he's bleeding from the nose. It looks like Cisco's like gonna bite the dust. But it actually, because the reason he's fading away is because they caught Thawne. They disrupted the timeline because Thawne's supposed to be free so he can go back in time later and kill Barry's mother. and get trapped, become Harrison Wells, all the good shit they went through on season number 1. But basically, this is a time he has to let him go. So Barry has to act quickly, and the only thing he can do is he has to help the Reverse Flash, has to help Eobard Thawne get to the proper speed he needs to travel through the timelines. So he goes ahead and he runs out and he hauls ass under Star Labs with freaking Eobard Thawne. And once he gets to a fast enough speed, he actually grabs Thawne and chucks him through the portal. So, like, fuck you, get out of here. Goes back, Cisco's going to be fine, everything's good. Now, that was a great, great storyline, and it showed Barry had to grow and get over the shit that this guy killed my mother, or kills her in the future, and to save someone he cares about, he had to sacrifice it. And that's what the Flash has been doing. Flash also sacrificed Patty, because Patty figures out that he is the Flash. She is a smart girl, she's a detective, and she puts that shit together that Barry Allen is the Flash. Just all the coincidences with different lab reports and he was there on site and all this other shit. She just figures it out on her own. Tells Joe. Joe kind of freaks out and kind of stalls. No, it's not him. No, that's not true. Patty, you're freaking out. Like, it's just kind of stupid about it. So she goes and confronts Barry and says, Barry, you do not have to lie to me anymore. I want you to tell me the truth. If you tell me you are the Flash, I will stay. But Joe and Barry had talked earlier about this, and he says he doesn't want her to know and be here and be another person that Zoom can use against him. So he doesn't want to talk to her about it and just doesn't want to admit it to her. It's done, it's good. So all this shit goes down. He basically has to break her heart so she can leave and he can go on being the Flash and do what needs to be necessary without putting her in harm's way. And doing so was actually a really good idea, but she does figure it out. She's smarter than you damn think, and she knows this. So she calls Barry at the very end of the episode on his cell and says, Barry, there's a guy on the train right now. He's got a gun. I need your help. Please get here fast. And he's like, I'll get you help. And he turns around and boom, jumps in the Flash chute, jams out, gets on the freaking train. Nothing's wrong. She lied to him. She just said, oh, yeah, no, there's nobody. I just had to see you. And so basically he's all, is everything okay before I go? And they kind of give each other this fucking smile. Like, she's like, bitch, you tried to deny it, but I won, motherfucker. And I knew you were the Flash. Boom. So Barry, yeah, he gets found out. And he's kind of okay with it. But she's leaving. She's gone. She's no longer going to be in the city where Zoom can hurt her. Now, one of my favorite things that did happen in this episode, and this one was really, really big for me, and my wife was like, what's so big of a deal about that? I was so stoked. So Caitlin has been looking for Jay Garrick's doppelganger on Earth 1. That way she can get some cells from him to help repair Jay's cells so he doesn't have to die even if they can't get his speed. So she can't find him. Barry's been helping, Cisco's been helping. No one could find this dude. There is no Jay Garrick on Earth 1. So she goes and tells him, and he's like, meet me in the park tomorrow. I'd rather show you. So she goes and she meets him in the park, and he's telling her, yeah, when I first got here, I did the same thing you did. I was looking for my doppelganger so I get some fresh cells and replace them with my damaged cells. And she's like, well, what happened? He's like, well, I found him. And they look at him, and he's sitting over there. He's Earth 1, looks just like Jay Garrick, sitting over there, like looks like he's reading a book, sitting there with his trench coat on. And in the park on a bench. I guess he does it every day, but Jay Garrick knew this and takes her there on purpose to see this guy. And she says, well, his name's not Jay Garrick. And he's all, no, his name is Hunter Zolomon. And at this point in time, I was writing notes about the episode, about other scenes, and at this time, I fucking dropped the pen. I had to rewind it, and I was like, what did he say his fucking name was? And I heard Hunter Zolomon. I'm like, holy shit, Hunter Zolomon in the comics is Zoom. So I start freaking out. My wife does not understand what is going on, and I'm losing my damn mind. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God, holy shit, it's Hunter Zolomon. And she's like, who the fuck is Hunter Zolomon? She has no idea what was going on. And I was losing my shit. I could not, talk. I was so excited. Now, if you guys don't know, in the comic books, Hunter Zolomon is Zoom. Now, not the Zoom that we've got introduced to. Hunter Zolomon is Zoom in a yellow suit, because there's Zoom, there's Professor Zoom, there's couple different reverse flashes. So if you guys didn't know, there's lots of different reverse flashes throughout all continuities, all different worlds. There's tons of reverse flashes, tons of different zooms. But in the comics, Hunter Zolomon was a guy that became the Flash, or became Zoom, and he was a big villain, and then I think he got paralyzed. But if you guys don't know, he's not a Barry Allen villain in the comics. He's mainly a Wally West villain. I mean, he does, I think, come into contact with Barry a few times, but he is a Wally West villain, all in all. Most of the time, he's a Wally West Flash villain. So that was just something really cool. When I saw that, I lost my shit. If something's ever going to happen to it, we don't know. You never know. When Barry stops Zoom, maybe he's going to have like a big explosion of Speed Force. Maybe we're going to get Jesse Quick to be fucking speedy. We're going to get maybe Wally West to get his powers that way somehow. Get Jay Garrick back hauling ass. Get Hunter Zolomon becoming a fucking reverse Flash or a Zoom. Damn, guys, I'm so excited. This episode was so good. So many awesome Easter eggs. Now, guys, let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode down in the comments down below. What was your favorite part? And out of all those awesome things that I talked about, which one was your favorite? And if I missed something, guys, what part do you want to add in there? I didn't go into the really sad, sappy stuff about Iris and Wally having to go see her mother because she's dying, because they weren't my favorite outstanding parts. But guys, definitely let me know what you guys thought about my review and the way I'm laying it all out, just telling my favorite parts and talking about those. Or would you like me to go back to reviewing the entire episode? Because I did leave out the sappy shit in this one, just to see how this one went. So let me know, guys, what you guys think down in the comments down below. And thank you very much for tuning into this review. And I'll see you guys next week for another Flash review. Peace out. If you liked the video you just saw, make sure you rate it with that big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you can check out all the other nerdy videos we have just like this one. Also, check out my Patreon account and become a patron if you'd like for access to exclusive content.